Welcome to the Build Your Beautiful Business podcast with your host, Julie C. Butler. If you're looking to build the business of your dreams, then this is the space you want to be in. Join Julie as she talks about ways that you can successfully scale your profitable dream business, one that will give you ultimate time freedom and the abundant lifestyle you deserve. Julie will take you by the hand, sharing with you her business savvy strategies as she chats it up with her favorite online entrepreneurs. You'll get a weekly dose of boosted confidence as you learn as they reveal their insight, tips, and tools that you need to start building a profitable dream business of your own, one that you'll love and that works for you on autopilot.
Hello there. Welcome back to the BB Summit. I'm your host, Julie C. Butler. Today on the podcast, we have the beautiful Raimonda Jan with us. Raimonda is the founder and host of the Women Thrive Media, best-selling author, international speaker, speaking coach, and visibility expert. She helps other business founders become recognized and highly visible in their area of expertise and sought after speakers. Raimonda's passion is hosting events and helping other women become speakers and share their stories worldwide. She believes that there are not enough stages and media outlets that celebrate and spotlight women and their achievements, so Raimonda is on a mission to build a global media company and a platform for women to speak and share their stories where they feel heard, celebrated, and accepted. Her passion for speaking and empowering others stems from her own personal experience of losing her voice, her identity, and confidence due to trauma. Now that she has overcome her own life challenges and found the power in her voice, she wants to make sure that no other woman has to hide her light and shy away from speaking up and sharing her story. Your story matters, and the world needs to hear about it. Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be back with you on this show. I have today with me the beautiful Raimonda, all the way from Spain. How are you, Raimonda? Thanks for being on the show.
Oh, thanks, Julie. Good to see you also in a sunny part of the world. And I'm looking forward to today's conversation and hopefully inspiring your audience with some juicy stuff.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm so excited that we get to chat again. Me and you, we've spoken on a few occasions, and you're such truly an inspiration and a powerhouse, and your energy you're just beautiful all around. And so I just love being in your presence, and I love being in your world. And I mean, we're going to talk about a few different things because I'm part of your summit that's coming up in March, and that's just so exciting and such a great honor to be part of. But before we get started, do you want to take a minute to introduce yourselves to the listeners?
Yeah, it's always like, okay, what do I tell you? Well, okay, where do I begin? I'm an entrepreneur. I've always been an entrepreneur, probably more than 16, 17 years now. And I love this whole entrepreneurial journey. And I feel like I've learned and grown so much through it. I am the founder of the Women Thrive Media, which is a community event as well as a magazine for female entrepreneurs and business owners. We host the annual Women Thrive Summit and Women Thrive podcast. And I am an author, a speaker, a visibility mentor, and I do all the other amazing things in business as a bit of a passion of mine to support others in growing successful businesses.
Yes, and you're so good at it, and you truly help change the lives of so many women all over the world. And you do it because it's such a passion for you to be able to change the lives of women all over the world. So I love that. And you're a new mommy.
Yes, I am. We're 8 weeks as we speak, and she's a beautiful addition to our Thrive family of females.
She truly is. And I know sometimes, as of recent, you bring her to the meetings, which is so nice.
Yes, she is. She was in my meeting earlier today, and she'll be joining later today and group meetings. And I mean, she sat through with me endless amount of calls and the whole summit in March this year. So she's kind of used to it now.
Yes, and I love that because you've built an incredible business, and you've built a business and preparation to become a mom too, right? And so it doesn't have to be one or the other, right? Like we can do this as, moms to be, or moms of young children, or moms of teenagers. It really doesn't matter, right?
And people used to say that to me, like, "Oh, you can do it." And I was like, I don't know. I think you have to choose one or the other. And to be honest, getting pregnant really fueled me and my passion to do it even bigger and better. And I started to really plan for my exit. Started to plan for my business to sustain itself while I'm away. I didn't know how long I would want or need to be away from my business. So it really pushed me to actually get myself organized. And I'm really grateful that I did. And it took my whole business to a completely different level where I am now.
Hmm. I love that. And so I want to talk with you today about how to grow our community with purpose and vision. So I know like it's all of course our desire to grow a community because we want our businesses to grow and thrive and do all the thing, right? But so how do we put the purpose and vision into that?
Yeah, I think when growing communities is not necessarily for everyone, and not everyone has that spirit, but for people who do see the value and also it aligns with them, I think having a collective purpose for the community, like why do you want to really ask yourself, why is it important? For me, it was bigger than myself. I didn't start a community for, let's say, my own selfish reasons. I started a community because I wanted to bring people together. It was genuinely my passion to see women come together, to be able to share ideas. So for me, the common thing was we're all entrepreneurs. We all struggle with some things. We need some places where we can conversate and share our experiences. And if I'm able to facilitate that, then great. And I was able to start that off. And over the years, I've learned that having a vision of where you want to go, or having a vision that brings people on board with your cause, creates so much more power in your community, because there is a reason why people want to be part of it, and they will
Hmm.
invite others because there is a cause to your purpose, right? If you want to host a summit, what is the cause of your summit? What is the reason why we want to do it? Or community, any other any other
And
initiative bring together.
yeah, and so, for some people listening, they're probably like, "Ah, well, how do I figure out what my cause is, like what my vision is?" Do you have some tips for them to like maybe sit down and try to figure it out? Because I sometimes it's a process, right? Like, I mean, we
Mm.
don't always know from the beginning what that looks like. Maybe we don't really have the vision because we don't know the cause yet. And I know that sometimes that can come like it's a process, right? Like sometimes, and it's okay if it changes as well. So, what are your tips for that?
There's a few things that a few exercises that I do with some of our speakers or people who come into our community. And the first thing I'll say, what are you really passionate about? Is there a topic, or is there something why you, or what you do, right? And there's a maybe perhaps why you do, because you feel excited about technology and you want to bring like-minded people together, or any other area. And then two more areas where it has to be about their values. What are your values? Because this could be your guiding like compass to uncovering a lot more. Why people come into your world and they want to stay, a lot of the times is because of your values. Sometimes your values might be spoken, and sometimes your values might be unspoken. for a long time, my values were unspoken in my community, but actually I tend to attract the same people with same values. And it becomes really powerful. So if you can from get-go figure out what are your true values, what's really important and what's non-negotiable to you when you step into a community or any container, what are the things that's going to guide you? And a lot of the times our values begins with our story, because there's some things that has happened in your life that instill those beliefs, that's now guiding you to do what you do, your choices, because there's certain things will repel you and some things will bring you closer, and it comes down to your values. And it's just, it happens naturally. It's not something that you even think about, but it happens. So you got to figure out what that is.
I know. And I think it's important to remember also to not overthink this, right? Like sometimes I think we spend so much time overthinking it when the answer is right in front of us and it's so simple, right? Keeping things simple and letting ourselves, let our heart speak also, right? Because the heart never lies, right? I think that was Oprah that said that the heart never lies. And I think it's important to let ourselves go in that direction, right?
It's intuitive. Like I said, with the values, you step into a place and this feels home, and in other places just doesn't feel right. When you connect to people, you'll know when the people are aligned to you or not.
I love it. I love that. So, okay. So, how do we begin today to become the CEO that we've always dreamed about? Because we can start thinking about that at any phase of our business, right? Sometimes we don't think about that at the beginning, right? Like we are the CEO, like we start our business and we think, oh, we think small, maybe, right? Instead, why don't we start thinking big and like we are it at this moment creating something that's going to be beautiful, perhaps a legacy, right, full of purpose and passion and vision, and we can start becoming and being the CEO that we've always dreamed about, right?
That's such an interesting question. I don't think I saw myself as where I am today. I always wanted to be successful, and we strive to be in a certain place, but then the whole becoming parts, we just do what we have to do. We just run our businesses, and we don't really realize when is that tipping point when you become a CEO, so to speak, or that next version of yourself. It's just you, right? So it's a tricky thing. You almost have to vision yourself today and think, well, where do I want to be? How do I want to be received? How do I have to position myself to be taken a certain way? Let's say you're working in a coaching industry and you're looking to attract higher level leaders. It requires you to step into that role yourself in order to attract people, right? Or attract the right people to come and work for your company. But it doesn't happen overnight. It requires growth, but first of all, it requires vision. So you have to envision it first and then start the process. With success, it doesn't happen overnight. With any business, nothing happens overnight. And you grow into it. Like if I was given what I have today, the kind of business that I have, the kind of clients, the amount of clients, the team that I have today, if I was given this 5 years ago, I would have blew it. I wouldn't have known how to take care of it, how to handle it, and how to be the leader that I am today that's able to manage it. So it has grown. My capacity and my abilities and my skills has grown because I was able to manage a few people, 5 people, 10 people in my team. Now I have nearly 15 people in my team, quite a few clients in our books. But 5 years ago, I wasn't able to do that because I have not grown to it. So it requires time to the process. So you can't leapfrog that.
Yes, yes. But I think also it's important to tapping into that. It's important also to remember that it's okay to start, like, how they say, like, fake it till you make it,
Yeah.
right? And I think that, we have to be happy with, like, find happiness in where we are now, as opposed to, oh, I'm going to be happy when I get to where I want to be, right? And I think that trips up, that can trip you up, and it can keep you behind because you're stuck in that place of, like, oh, I'm not happy. Or sometimes we don't even think about it. Sometimes it's like
Yeah.
subconscious, right? Like we're not happy with the business that we have currently, and we keep thinking about the future of what the business will look like, or what we want it to look like, and we don't allow ourselves to be happy in this moment with the business that we have and what it looks like, right? But it's so important to do that, right?
You miss the moment. Like, don't live in the future, live in the now, and the whole fake it to make it. Like, that's a bit of an imposter syndrome coming through if you have to live up to something that you're not. Be authentically yourself now and here, and own where you are. And before you know, you are going to grow into that person. But even when you are growing into that person, you're not going to feel out of place. It's going to feel natural because you don't have to fake it, because you've truly grown into it. Now, when people ask me about some tips about some things that I've gone through, I don't need to script nothing because I can genuinely tell you from my experience. When you're trying to fake it, when people ask you those questions, you've got no answer because you haven't experienced it. So you can be found out that actually you haven't done it.
I love that so much, what you just said. And you said, own who you are at the moment. I love that. That's like, if you remember anything from our conversation today, remember that. Own who you are, because you are extraordinary. You are amazing. You are beautiful. You are all worthy. And, success will come. It has no choice, right? By owning who we are, being authentic, and moving towards our dreams by doing the work, obviously. Right.
it,
But I love that. I think it's beautiful.
it will happen its own time. And you've
It
noticed
will.
it, Julie.
It really does.
You vision your life where you are now, and just takes the steps and planning. And look at you. I mean, you live in Costa Rica, in a beautiful surrounding. You're living a dream that most people dream
Mhm.
of.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it takes, we have to remember the patience piece, right? Mr. Patience, because, at the end of the day, if we keep working towards our goals and our vision, it will happen. It doesn't have a choice, right? Hmm. I love that. So I know we talked a little bit about it, but you became a new mom. And so, how did you grow and scale your business while preparing for motherhood?
I think that was sort of my preparation. But I really took a step back and I thought, how do I want to see my business, and what does it need to look like for me to be able to step away, but also sustainably what we have, which means my team and the whole vision that we've created. So I really had to go back to the basics of my business planning and my strategy, and just implementing everything step by step, creating processes and systems. Because what you start to realize that when you go from a few people in your business to 10 and more, the intricacies of all of that becomes much more complicated, and dynamics and management and the systems and processes. I had to really sit down. A lot of the time, probably 40-30% of my time, I was spending on creating processes, systems, training my staff, and visioning what these roles need to look like, so I can offload everything off my plate and continue running the business, and how I can empower my team members to run certain departments that will be profitable. They have a role and they have goals, and they need to make their roles worthwhile for them to be there, right? So there's a lot of work in the background. But a lot of it comes down to strategy and patience.
Patience. But
Just
I love this, the systems, right? Systems, having systems in place. And, some of us don't start that earlier on in our business. And I think we should, like from day one, we should start thinking about systems and automations because, at some point, and maybe that's not your goal to have a business with a team, but maybe it is. Maybe you want to have, 1, 2, 3 members on your team doing different things, right? And so having these things in place is crucial to the success because sometimes your business, maybe not always, and maybe this is maybe a smaller percentage, but sometimes your business can grow faster than you thought it would. And then you're like overwhelmed and all over the place because you didn't have those systems and automations in place to prepare your business for growth. And it can happen fast sometimes, right?
yeah, and processes, write the process. When you are working on something, you don't know when you will need to outsource, when you'll need to have help. There could be your health that gives, and you have to bring in support into your business. Today, when I've gone back to my business after giving birth, my team and my management told me, Ray, you need to continue on your motherhood. You're not needed here. We want you here, but we don't need you here. And just yesterday, my management had a very tough conversation with me. So you hired us, and by the fact that you coming back to work the way you used to work, you pretty much there's no need for us to be here. So what is the decision you're going to make? Do you want to fully come back and still run the show the way you used to and cause chaos in the business? Because I'm the creative and I'm like, hey, sending my team members to run and chase after every chicken running. And I said, no, you need to really do this. Allow us to run your business. So that's what I had to do. Just give
That's
it up.
amazing because now, you can be like, well, I've grown this business. Now I get to choose to spend time with my daughter, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think we all desire it and work for it. And now I have it. I should be proud of it. But when I had that conversation with my management, I was like, I'm not needed.
It's not true.
But I'm grateful because it does allow me the freedom. And I have my
Yes.
little baby girl here. So if I have to lift her up.
But you built this, Raimonda. You built this. You worked hard to build what you have now so that you are able to spend time with your baby. That's amazing. It's beautiful. So I'm really excited because you have a book coming out soon. So I want to take a moment to speak about your upcoming book.
Yes. And she's coming on a podcast with me today.
I love it. Bring it. Hi,
Yeah. That's your first podcast, little baby girl.
Maybe
So
she'll say something. Maybe she'll have a
yeah,
little.
she is becoming very, very much more vocal, but yeah, hopefully we'll get to finish this podcast. Yeah, our book is coming out 2nd of November. It's called The Women Thrive book, and it's all about women overcoming adversity and sharing their stories vulnerably. And these are inspiring stories of women. Most of them are entrepreneurs, business owners. And it's just beautiful, when we get to share our stories in such a vulnerable and raw way. It allows other people the ability to connect with us and also heal. So that's what this book is about. It's coming out 2nd of November. I'm very proud of it.
Amazing. And your second book, right? Like, so that's what an accomplishment. And you're truly so inspiring. And I'm going to put the link to that in the show notes. So if you're listening, make sure you check out the book. I'm sure you're going to have like a launch and readings and all the good things that you had before for your first book, correct?
Yeah, we have a virtual launch on the 2nd of November, and then we have in-person launch. We're doing a retreat here in Spain, and we're having a launch event. I think it's on the 18th of November in Valencia, and I am very, very excited. There's a lot of the authors flying in from all around the world to be here for the book
That's
launch.
amazing. I love it. That's amazing. And so, should we take a moment to speak about this summit? I know it's not until March, but it's going to come really fast. And I'm a speaker at the summit, so I'm so excited to be participating this time around. But let's talk a little bit about it. I'll let you take the stage because you can describe it way better than I can.
So she's my youngest CEO, as you see here. She'll be part of the hosting of the summit. Yeah,
Yes, she will.
Women Thrive Summit is our annual event that is all about women empowerment and entrepreneurship. So we cover a lot of the topics from business, mindset, confidence, technical things, and practical things on business, finance, as well as more softer things like healing and spirituality, mindset, and just some amazing, amazing speakers. This year we have over 50 amazing international speakers, yourself included, Julie. Long time coming. You were meant to be on the last one. And we just look forward to having as many people involved in it. There's free tickets. There are also opportunities to upgrade for additional bonuses. But this is a whole 1 week long event. It's a live virtual event. So that means you get to interact with our speakers. And what a better way to spend Women's History Month together, hanging out with some amazing international women. So I'm looking forward to it. And Julie, what's your topic on our summit?
Um, I my topic, I just crafted it the other day, but I think I want to speak on the you caught me off guard there. Way to go, Raimonda.
I'm
But
sorry.
yeah, no problem. It was about, growing your business, accelerated growth in your business, via harnessing the power of participating and being a speaker in virtual events. So I'm really like, it's something that I've been doing for the last year and that I've truly become passionate about. And so, with my expertise and, tips and tricks and also like kind of like living vicariously through me, right? Like I love to share, what I recommend, what I don't recommend.
Yeah.
And my phone is going here. Can you hear the little beep? I'm like, how's that happening? I'm sure I put my phone on silent.
Hey, look, this is all happening in this podcast, and this is real life, like I say to my clients as well, those who, come in to speak on our summits, your babies come in, your dogs come in, your phone's gonna ring, it's fine. This is real life, and
It is.
this is why we women can do it all.
That's right. That's why we can do what we do. And you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect as long as we move in the direction, move forward. And I think that's, it's a beautiful thing that we're able to do what we do and share it with other, female entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs in the world out there. Raimonda, thank you so much. So if people are like really resonating with you and your energy and want to know more about you or perhaps maybe how to work with you or follow you on social media, where can we find you?
I think the best place would be either through the summit, so womenthrivesummit.com. We also have a
Mhm.
magazine where you can participate and read, which is womenthrive.magazine.com. Or just find me, Raimonda Jan, on most social media platforms. Feel free to send me a message, connect, and you know, um, just be part of what we're doing. We're building something really exciting globally. This is a platform for all women and men as well to be part of this incredible vision. And why not? You'll get to meet and connect with some other amazing people on our platform one way or the other and be part of our virtual events. And yeah, I look forward to connecting with you if you're listening to this right now and you feel cool to send us a message or just connect in any way.
Amazing. Amazing. Oh, cutie baby. If you're watching this, you get to see the beautiful Selena. And if you're listening, you probably heard her a little bit.
She's already started to talk and she's only 2 months. So I think she's taking after her mom for public speaking.
She's listening. She's been listening in the belly.
That's right.
Yeah. Thanks again, Raimonda. It was so nice catching up with you and chatting about, all the things with purpose and vision. And it's always such a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks, Julie. Thanks for having me and lovely to connect with your audience today. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Build Your Beautiful Business podcast. If you did, please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review the show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Julie's included a link in the shows to make it nice and easy for you. And if you want to create a beautiful, profitable business of your own, make sure to go unlock your access to Julie's 6 must-have resources for female entrepreneurs. These resources will help you build and grow your business with simplicity and ease. You can find them at juliecbutler.com/freebie vault. We'll see you in the next episode.